Hello, good evening, and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Tima Madima. This evening, we are chatting to Thuso Mpuwang, phenomenal sprinter back in the days, 200 meter, 100 meter. He's in the building with us tonight. So we're going to have a good time. I hope you guys are excited for this one. Good evening, everybody. Hello, South Africa. If you're watching from anywhere else in the world, welcome to you too. We're going to have a good time. Like I said, Thuso Mpuwang is in the building with us this evening. So we're gonna have a good chat. Make sure, guys, to tune in. It's gonna be a good one. If you've got any questions, send through your questions, and we'll try to take as many as possible. So yeah, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are good. Just waiting for Thuso to jump on, and then we're gonna get going. Welcome, guys. I see you, Kyon Walker, Jazz Vermillion. I see you, Wandisile, Dambile. I see you, Snisipo, Lady Lebs is in here as well. So welcome, guys. I think he's here. Let me just send him an invite, and then he will jump on with us. There we go. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's just wait for the connection. I see you guys. I see you all. Kuno Fredericks, my brother. Exe.
Hey, Mtimba.
Hinda. What do you mean? Auna kakati. Hey, man, thanks for joining us this evening. Super excited for this one, man. It's always an honor to speak to the OGs. You know, you're the OG in sprinting in South Africa. So thanks for joining us.
It's thank you for having me, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Since I've been interviewed. Yeah.
I can see even your hair. That hair is a hair of a man who's not in front of a camera.
I don't know. This one is not going anywhere.
No, but it's good to have you here, man. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Just to remind, it's not an interview. You know, it's just a chat. We're gonna be just chatting, celebrating your achievements and what you've done for track and field. So it's gonna be easy.
Thank you, Ish. I even took out my formal jersey, man, because I thought it was an
dress for the occasion. No, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. All right. So what I'm gonna do an introduction. Yeah. So just so that the people who are watching can know exactly who we're dealing with, and then from there on we'll carry on with the chat.
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening, listen very carefully. It's a long CV, so if you don't have data, fill up your data. With us this evening, we've got Thuso Mpuwang. Listen, he's the World Continental Cup 4x100 meter bronze medalist, African Championships 200 meter gold medalist, 3-time African Championship 4x100 meter gold medalist, World University Games 200 meter silver medalist, World University Games 200 meter bronze medalist, World SA 2-time SA 200 meter champion, ladies and gentlemen, Thuso Mpuwang.
Wow, is that me?
Hey, I see even Obi Trice is in here. There's a horn for you, man. You're an OG. You deserve another one. Let's go. So yeah, man. How have you been? It's been a minute, like you said. We haven't seen you on the track and field scene in a while. So obviously you've been busy, work or whatever. How has Thuso Mpuwang been?
When I hanged up my spikes, I went for formal shoes. From there, I went behind the desk. But I'm still in the industry. I'm still in the sector. Working for the Free State Sports Confederation, which is like the provincial SASCOC. So I'm still involved in sport, even though I'm not now involved in athletics per se.
Yeah.
I'm now involved in a lot of federations. Yeah. So I'm still there. I still don't have a Bailey. So yeah. I'm still trying to.
That's usually the best sign, once you become like, once you hit Ronaldo weight, then hey, yeah, you've officially left sport totally. But it's good to hear you're still involved. So you must know a lot of what's happening in the scene, new kids on the block. Are you following much still?
Yes. I make it a point that I follow whatever is happening, and hey, I see Chedrick is there as well.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. Check the
Chedrick,
gun.
yeah, one of the guys that make me proud to be a 200-meter athlete from South Africa. The way he runs that bend, yeah. So yeah, I'm quite still reading a lot about and watching a lot about athletics as well in general and sprints.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm quite as to who's who in the zoo lately. Yeah.
No, that's good, man. I think it's so important, and that's why these chats are important. We'll put up on YouTube as well for the guys to watch, because end of the day, man, the guys need to know who came before. And I mean, like the sprints, for instance, it changes in eras, man. It's like there's an era, the era you ran, it was different to now, because the game has just changed, and it's changed for the better somehow. The kids are faster. They're fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, end of the day, there was a time where you were a role model to a lot of these guys, and they've come through. And we'll get into that. Let's just chill first.
Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Your nickname. Do you have a nickname that you go by, that the guys on the track used to call you, or that you use now?
No, not now. But the boys back then used to call me Gunman. So yeah. Think out. So
oh, Gunman. And yeah,
yeah, like and also
yeah,
and also just to add on what you just said as well, like the transitioning of the sprinting group, the way it is. I mean, it's like I don't know, politically it's like a term, like for like going to these guys, and when they change, there's going to be even better guys that are even taking the bar a bit higher. And I mean, that's nice about the sport. And I mean,
yeah,
you as well feel proud to say you did not leave the sport to die. You
yeah.
understand? Seeing the guys going 20, like
Hey,
it's with big,
yes, it's a
like it's
smack.
with
They
big
just
and yeah. So I'm quite proud. Some of us crawled so that they could walk.
yeah. And I mean, I'm glad you said that, because it's so important to say that, and that's why I mean we keep on bringing on, the guys who have done it before. The legends. We bring in guys that have paved the way, youngsters as well as those who are prominent for the future. Because end of the day, when it comes to track and field, I believe we have to stand together. We build it, we make this sport as attractive as possible, and eventually the rest of the country must be like, "Wiralang next door." What's happening? What's happening? What's happening on the track? They
Yeah,
must wanna come and see who's what's happening, and I think that's exactly what we all have the responsibility of doing.
yeah. No, totally. We need to also it's not a matter of trying to brush yourself in, but it's just for the guys to know that hey, we are behind you
Yeah,
all the way, and we there as well. It's
yeah,
not a matter of trying to say hey, you have to know me so that you are better or anything else. It's just that hey, just know that wherever you are walking, you have my name behind cheering you on.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that's the most important thing that I also try to do with the boys as well, to say guys, I might not be there physically, but just know that whoever is running at 200 meters from South Africa
yeah.
is also representing me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what it's all about in the day, man. And I mean, it's exciting to hear that from you as well. And yeah, So let's get to the beginning now of your journey. Where did this running thing start? Were you always running from a young kid? Did you play other sports, swimming, chess, volleyball? Where did you start?
Hey, swimming from a boy from no ways. Yeah. Well, back in school, I used to play a lot of softball. I don't know if you know that sport.
Yeah, yeah,
And obviously, when you get to the location, that's where you play soccer.
yeah,
And from January until March, that's where you then get to do your inter high schools and all
yeah,
of that. When I matriculated, I applied for a sports bursary at the then Technical Free State, which is now the CUT,
yeah,
CUT Free State.
yeah, yeah.
So they accepted me based on my performance from softball.
Mm,
But when I got here, I told them I want to try athletics,
yeah,
and that was in 2004. They gave me a contact. They said, no, this lady will help you. Here's her number. She normally trains at the stadium. Then I
yeah.
went there. When I got, I found this lady with white hair. I'm like, huh? I'm actually looking for here. Then I told them, no, I'm looking for a Tani Anse. I did not even know Africans at that time. Like, I'm looking for a lady called Tani Anze. And she says, no, that's me. I'm like, hey, I want to start athletics. And then she looked at me. I was very thin at that
Yeah,
time. I was,
yeah,
I think, if you know boys soccer, I think I was the same as I had a boys soccer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So looked at me like, okay, we train Monday to Friday at 4 o'clock. And then she just turned around.
Mm.
I'm like, okay. Then I started, and ever since, from there, I never turned back. 4 years later, I saw myself at the Olympics,
Mm.
and yeah, that's when Jenny then blossomed, if I should put it.
Hey, it's crazy, man. Everybody's got these different stories, but like yours is like, it seems like you just tripped over and fell over athletics. Sneaking 4 years later, you're going to Olympics, and you get athletes that will try their whole lives and not make it. Do you think a lot of it comes from just gifting? Obviously, there's work that goes in it as well. But would you say this is something that you're just gifted with, or is it if you're in the right hands, 4 years later you're an Olympian?
I don't think I'm that talented, Timba. I think it went with I believed, because I remember that same year I was with my one other friend who I just met in Bloemfontein. He's now late, Katleho, and we were watching the 2004 Athens Olympics,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I saw these guys, and he's like, "Do you know that this is possible?" I'm like,
Nah.
how am I going to fly to Greece and run next to those guys? Like, it's possible. You just need to believe. And from there, every year, I ended up making athletics my life, and I think that's what actually changed the mindset and the perception that Tani Ans also had about me, because she would literally, and I mean literally, Mtimbane, she would kill me today. And I would, those that used to train with me would tell you, I would crawl out of that stadium, and she would even yell at me, say, "Hey, are you not even going to say goodbye?" And I just tend, and I just look at them, and I just continue walking. And then I promise you, the next morning I am up, I'm by the gym, or I'm doing my runs, and that afternoon I'm back there, we are laughing again, and she kills me again. And so for me and her, it was love, but it was a painful one.
They say love hurts.
It-
I think that's what they're
it-
talking about. Hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the passion grew from there. I mean, seeing how the possibility and how I was getting better every year. And I also, at some point, I was also scared that, hey man, I cannot control how better I'm becoming. I mean, by the first, I think within the first year, with her 2.5, I made it into the 200-meter finals, and that was a huge final. It had youre Nachal in it. It had the biggest steering of them all, Lee Julius.
It had Terminator.
He used to give us sleepless nights. Like you'd have to count yourself, like 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, it means I'm number 6. So it had big names. I think I remember there was another guy called Christian Kroon. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
like it was packed. I was in lane 8. Yeah, I was in lane 8 at that in that final. Look, for me, it only makes sense now, because that final, it was my first 200 final.
Yeah.
Compared to the other finals that came after it, where I wanted to do better. I was in that phase that I want to run fast. I want to run fast. But in that first final, she just told me, Sian, because she used to call me that, Sian, geniet yourself.
Yeah.
Go enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
and what I did, even after the race, I was still smiling that, hey, I made it to a South African final. And then, from there, I never looked back. And you know, I mean, I think I was 19, 20, and you know, with that young, there's nightlife, and then there's all these other things.
Yeah.
So there was this one instance. We had a bash at our university there, and the bash was on a Friday night. Saturday evening at 11:30, we were training timber. So and the thing is, I did not consume beer. But because I slept at 5 a.m., I could not function. You understand? So first set, she sees that this man is struggling.
Something is wrong.
And then he's like, Papa, Hazard, sit on the side a bit. And then I'm like, no, can I? Then she said, I said, sit there. Wait for me. Let me finish with the people that want to train. You must just wait. And then after the training, she came to me and she said, you must decide. Do you want to do athletics or do you want to do soccer? So, and that's from that day, I respected training, even if I knew that tomorrow was training, I would sleep early, of course, or I'll be indoors. Because I saw that she expected a lot from me, and also the time, and it's not only from my side. I mean, the time that she was giving to be there and to train us, and that I mean, she could have easily spent that time with her family. You understand? So those things, in a way, they gelled, and we had one purpose, and that purpose was just giving momentum by momentum every year.
I mean, shout out to Tanya Ants. I mean, Magogo has the magic, man. She knows how to put these things together. And I mean, I understand, like, she gets you guys who are hardworking or whatever, but I mean, she's got a system and it works. There's a new kid on the block now. Their side, Matsoso, he's next. Literally, it's not a matter of maybe. Magogo's got the formula. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
To just talk about working with her, and for you personally, what did she do for you? You know, as an athlete, and what type of mindset does she have that makes you guys all? I mean, you were. I mean, if I just look at some of your accolades, for those who don't know, I mean, your PB in the 100, you've got a 10 You had a 10.16 on the 200. You got a 20.4. There was a faster one. They said it was a hand. What can I say? There's a 20.1, but I can't declare it.
I need to sleep tonight, Timba, and let us not get into that. I have to see psychologist because of that.
With all due respect, comrade, I can't give it to you based on on IAAF. But you've got a 20.1. I'll just mention it. For some reason, it was not official. World champs. You've been to world champs. You've been to the Olympic Games. You've been again to the world champs. You've been at World University Games finals. Brought back the silver. Brought back a bronze. Brought back 3 golds from African champs. Emun, you've done it. So if the young cats are watching and they're thinking, who's this guy? What has he done? You've done it. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, like, that's the thing with paving the way. Not everybody has to have the same finish line. You know what I mean? Wade van Niekerk, if I remember 2011 in Durban. That's when you and him had a mersive battle.
Yeah, and he still blames me even today that I was part of his problems from there, because you remember after that he then pulled the hammy and he's like, no, it was too so. So yeah, but that was one of the books I would say, and I have much respect for that brother of mine, and how from there, and I mean even before then, a year before the 2010, he was in that junior final as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, he showed serious potential, if I should put it, and I'm happy he came to the sport at the right time, and we needed him. Yeah. But back to what you were saying, about how Tiny Ans and her training and everything. I think mostly she dealt with an athlete more like a child, like her own child. That's why a lot of things you could see, and even the relationship. I mean, not just with me, but if you could see her with a lot of her athletes, it's not a athlete to coach relationship. It's more like a tiny to son or tiny to daughter type of relationship.
Yeah.
And that makes you kind of relax in a bit, and to know that you have a giant behind you. And funny thing is that, like I said, when I first met her, I did not know Africans. I was terrible with Africans, man. I even used to call Kas cash. That's how terrible I was with Africans. Then getting to her space where she was coaching pretty much 80% of the time in Africans. That was the other experience that I got to learn from her side. But she was very, how can I put it, welcoming, and at no point did I find myself excluded from the other peers. So that's in a nutshell, that's her. And when you get to her training methods, I think that lady in her previous lifetime, she was a army soldier. She will drill you, Timba. She will drill you for the best. That's the nice thing. She will drill you for the best. She believes in, for you to get in, for you you need to get in the work if you want to see the results. That's what she believes in. And I mean, especially and and how she has also evolved. I mean, you know how sprinting has also evolved
Yeah.
from your your 80s and 90s running, and how people used to come up with these buff jackets just so that they get warm, and all these other to coming transitioning and trying to modernize a way of doing things. And I think from me to I would say to Wade's era, it was more of a transition for her, of which I think she did well. Hence, she could still be able to can progress and um, dish out such good athletes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, let's do a few welcomes. I see OB King Sprints is in here. I mean, he worked very well with the Tani when they were breaking records. This guy was cooking records in his bedroom. He was grafting and putting these things together.
Putting six guns.
Shout out to Brayton Pool is in here. I see Charmaine Prince, Lindu Kuse, Bafana, welcome to you. I see Milikaya France, welcome to you as well. Sparta Speed, Heinrich James, welcome guys. Omulemo, I see Unachi 24, big ups. Henry Makane, John Bravo, I see you. Mabena Williams, who is it? Cynthia Tete was in here. Welcome, guys. I won't get all the names, but yeah. Christian, Clausen, Sparkle, G Triangle. All right, we see you. We see you. Let's continue. So, obviously, that transition, man, like you said, it's such an important one because it's like, I mean, we had Lee Julius on as well many weeks back. And I mean, it was exactly that. Lee was a phenomenon. He was like Cristiano Ronaldo, South African athletics. You know, came through young and he dominated.
Decorate.
And then you look at what the guys are able to do now. Then there was an era where Clarence Munyai, Giflio Taylor, Malisela, Kyle Apple, these boys also just came. And for the first time in many years, we saw, hey, that era is back again. But now it looks like it's backed up with a sub 10. The Lion Mahakwe had broken the 10. So, hey, South Africans were just hungry all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So to talk about seeing that, man, like seeing this change, and I mean, even we'll talk about Olympics as well shortly. How was it witnessing this change?
Yeah. I think when that change happened, for me, it said we are getting it right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could look at from then, I think you are now referring to your 2013 team. If you look at 10 years back, if you go back 10 years back, the sport was quite, or the sprinting was quite good when we were at home. That's where you
exactly
guys would already your show and freeze at that time. You would make the stadium stand up, but the moment Mornay as well, you would come back from chasing horses there in the advert and become Spain. But from there, when you then transition into the European space, it was quite difficult for our sprinters to then break through into that as well. And it was one of the things, or it was one of the holes that we also fell into in our era. You would then try by all means to fit in your schedule so that you still have something left going to Europe, because obviously you need to prove during the yellow pages and all of that for ASA to then say give you or support for you to go to the European circuit. But that you could not do without running times. You understand? So you then put in a lot of work in the domestic season, and then come European circuit, you are amper pop.
Hey, ampur.
You're just hanging on by a thread, and
Yeah.
I think that's the hole that I'm referring to.
Mm-mm.
So from 2011, we started realizing that we're actually in this hole, that we are we are we are only running for domestic season. We are the way you periodize your
Yeah.
training, uh, you get to pick in February, March,
Yeah.
and you still have world champs in August. You still have Olympics
Mm.
in August, September. So I think it was from there, from 2011, that we started to take a step back a bit. And still, it was working, because you could still run the times here
Mm.
and still attempt to run or
Yeah.
just get close to the time when you get to Europe.
Yeah.
So that is own. From there, I think the coaches then realized. Um, uh, hence from there you started seeing your Simon. You started seeing, and I think it was also at that time when Akani was still a junior, when he
Yeah.
made that 10-1-7.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was phenomenal,
Mm.
and he never looked back. Because yeah, they found this working formula that they would be able to can manage from the domestic season into Europe. And yeah, so the sprinting circle never looked back from there,
Yo.
from
No, absolutely. I think what you're saying is, it's exactly there. It was so important because even like when, if I remember when Mahab was running 10:06, you would run it Monday to Sunday. But when in South Africa, when it came to international, it's exactly the 10:3, 10:2, 10:3, because by then, it's exactly the periodization and the tapering has worn out. It's already been done. And yeah, I think that's it's so important that you mentioned that, because I think that's what has changed the game now. You look at what the guys are doing now; they're getting it. Nah, man, they've got it right. It's perfect. It's working at world junior level. It's working at world youth level. It's working at uh, senior level as well. So we're on the right track, man, and it's exciting because all of a sudden it's like it's a new era and it's just getting faster and faster.
yeah. But through they they've really come up, and they're taking the opportunity. I mean, look at what Gift is doing now. It seems like he's just pressed the reset button. I don't know. Uh, we must check if that boy got a robot somewhere. Maybe was
A clone. He's got a
he's
clone.
acting like a very hungry person who you know, almost if you are new to an event, new something, and you're just running, and he keeps on. He's that spank that keeps on spanking the rest of the people there. Yes, and I must say, yeah.
Yeah, but is that?
So is what we see.
Mm,
And the nice thing is that Akane is also pulling them as well. They
absolutely.
know that. Yeah. So I think there's quite unity and camaraderie there. So we're gonna go very far
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
the sprinters that we have.
Yeah, so let's move to. We won't have enough time. I won't be able to cover everything. Let me hit maybe two more things that I think that are important. What did you say is like one of the most important things you were able to learn from your running career, which you're able to implement in your life post athletics?
Hey, I learned a lot of things, and I mean, even if you can check my and it also goes from not only from my interaction with my coach,
Mm,
because that's the person that I spent a lot of my time with,
yeah, yeah.
even training and in competitions. So she's the person that I quite learned a lot from. We're from different racial background and different generations, but her teachings are things that I'm even as we speak, I'm still instilling on my own kids.
Yeah.
And I think one of them I even put as a pinned tweet on my Twitter.
Yeah, so
because that's the one thing. That's the one thing, Timber, that she did to us: time management.
yeah.
Yeah, and she used to
Say that
say,
whole say that whole thing so that
yeah,
people can
yeah,
know.
yeah. To those that don't know it, she used to say, if you are 5 minutes early, you are on time, and if you are on time, you are late, and if you are late, you didn't even bother coming. So, yeah.
Where's my horn? Where's my horn?
Uh, so most of the things I learned from her, and also from my travelings as well. You'd learn to I wouldn't say independence, but you'd need to know how to then take care of yourself. And it's some of the things that, like I said, whatever I've learned, I'm first starting at home in my own house. I'm teaching my kids to say,
Yeah.
hey guys, you must know that you need to take care of yourself before you can expect somebody else to do that. And if you want something, it might not come in tomorrow, but if you work towards that every day, you will eventually get there.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think let's just we're gonna wrap it up with a message to these young kids, man. And then maybe you can just also say something that you looking forward to watching at the Olympics. But yeah, message to the young kids, or even some of the guys. Maybe there's some big dogs in here as well that are watching, and they can take maybe 1 or 2 cents, yeah, and 2 cents, 2 cents, maybe 5 cents, and use it in their careers and so on. What would that be?
Well, can I maybe start first with the last one for athletics?
Yeah, yeah.
No, for what in the you see now, because we are athletes, we are now calling Olympics athletics. The matter is that it hasn't started. The Olympics, but yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to see the boys. Actually, the whole team. From obviously my sprinter boys, and I'm actually interested in seeing what the marathon guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think TP is
Tippy
also just
tippy.
maturing like,
Eish.
yeah, he's just maturing like fine whiskey there.
Yeah, the finest.
And yes, I wish them all of the best. I hope they do their best, and actually they get to enjoy it more than anything. Yes, I know it's during difficult circumstances, but yeah, what's important is that they are there. They must take care of themselves there, and they must enjoy every single meal and day they spend there. They must not come.
I hear you. I hear you. Message to the
And then,
kids and to South Africans, man.
yeah, message to the young ones is that, hey, man, you you never know. You never know. Whenever you think you can go so far, it's actually you're just starting. Just keep on trying. We are bound to have no limits. So just go at it. Whatever it is that you want to do in life, just go at it. Just go at it. You might be the new norm.
Absolutely, man. Tuso, my brother. It's been so good, man. I wish we had more time. We could have went on for long, but then people are gonna start looking off and be like, "Ah, these two are just catching up now." But it's been
Yeah,
it's been really
I need
good.
to go. I need to go watch the river as well. Yeah.
I knew it. I knew
I
it.
am a father now, and I'm a husband. I need to watch Peppa Pig and all these other things before I. Yes.
Oh, go breezy, wally, easy. All right, man. Arima, Aripopo.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Pepe. Thanks for having me, Timana. And yeah, look, I'm my brother. Let's continue having these conversations.
Absolutely,
Thank you
man.
very much.
It's been a pleasure.
And yeah, you are also doing a great job here, my brother. Please continue teaching the young ones and actually taking the sport to even better heights, my brother. We need people like you in this fraternity of ours,
Yeah.
especially come from the sport that know exactly how it feels, that know what lactic is.
No, man, I
So
appreciate it. I appreciate the kind
you
words.
must so you must press that horn for yourself, my brother. You deserve.
Yeah. Let me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, my brother, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. I hope those who are watching were able to learn something and take a lot out of this. And yeah, like you said, man, we need to continue these conversations. We need somebody spoke about mentoring, how do we use the guys of old and plug them in so that the new kids and the new cats now can learn, as much as possible so that they don't feel alone when they get into these new environments, So yeah, big ups to you, big ups to Tani Ans, big ups to everybody who has logged on and was supporting. I see Free State is in the building. Strong
Yeah.
this evening. And yeah, thanks to everybody who's been watching and following, guys. It's really been good. And yeah, we're gonna continue, man. We're gonna continue. Hopefully, we'll have you back again some other time, and then we'll talk Olympics and so on. We've got a podcast on Friday. We're gonna have LJ Fansale with us, so that's gonna be quite interesting. And then yeah, Alyssa Conley is also pushing with us on Thursdays. So yeah, thanks a lot, bro.
Nah, thank you. I'll be tuned on. Yeah, all of the best, guys.
Yeah, and thanks to your wife for borrowing us Instagram account since you don't have one.
Hey, yeah, man, I'm too ugly. I'm too ugly to have an Instagram account, man. I don't have makeup and lemon like things.
Sharp too. So thanks a lot, man. All right, everybody. It's been good. Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys again later this week. We'll be back. But yeah, stay tuned. Olympics are starting on Friday. Make sure to watch and support and follow. Ciao, Tiso.